Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode, honestly, it's probably about episode 2, really, isn't it? Because there's not been loads of them, of Manchester City, the Collapse Chronicles. 5 losses in a row. They're not going to lose to Feyenoord at home. It's just not going to happen, regardless of how bad they've been, regardless of if they're missing Rodri. They're not going to lose at home, are they? And then they steam into a 3-0 lead. Yep, normal service is resumed, right? Wrong. 89th minute. 3-3. They's bottled it in a way that Spurs fans were like, damn, thought that was our thing. No one can truly appreciate that more than Spurs fans, the way they absolutely caved in like that. It's a rough old time for the noisy neighbours, isn't it? And as a United fan, I feel compelled to ask, are we seeing the true in Pep Guardiola here, in his footballing empire? Stick around, I'm going to get into the details of why I think that this might be happening. There's going to be some analysis in here, and there's going to be a hefty dose of piss-taking. And if you're too sensitive for that, my little snowflake, then don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. It's that time of year again. It's the holidays. The lights are twinkling. The food is everywhere. And Anne Brenda is definitely going to ask why you're still single. But this year, I'm ready. You're ready, not with excuses, but with the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra by Manscaped. It is the secret weapon for surviving the season. Now, first up, you've got the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This thing's an absolute beast. It's precise, it is smooth, and it's not going to leave you looking like you trimmed yourself with a rusty spoon. Now, whether it's for a date night, it's for the office party, or if it's for not terrifying grandma at Christmas dinner, it gets the job done. No nicks, no stress, just results. Let's talk about nose hairs, because, I'm getting on in my years and nose hair has started creeping up a little bit on me. It used to be like once a decade, now it's like twice a month that you have to trim that. Nobody wants to be that guy at the table with the holly jolly forest sticking out of their nose. Now listen, enter the Weed Whacker 2.0, your holiday hero for staying sharp and staying polished. And after you're done with the heavy lifting, treat your decorations to some TLC. The Crop Soother Ball Aftershave and a Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, because you deserve to be fresh and comfortable when you've been slaying all day. And when it comes to these, the Boxers 2.0 Bravo, hands down the comfiest boxers that I own, and the Slick Shed 2.0 toiletry bag to keep everything organised. Free gifts? Count me in. So, don't be the scruffy solo family member this year. Be the one who shows up confident, polished, and maybe even takes the top spot in the sibling rankings. Hey, listen, they're having a Black Friday sale at Manscaped. Instead of 20% off, it's now 25% off and free shipping with the code Howson at manscaped.com. That's 25% off and free shipping with the code Howson at manscaped.com. Let's get into it then. So 5 consecutive losses, 5 defeats, and they deserve to lose them. It weren't like, oh, do you know what? They've actually played well. They've been really unlucky. They've been shit. They've been worse than any of the absolute horror shows that United have had in the last 10 years post Sir Alex. Humiliated in the cup. A handful of league losses where they looked like pure mid-table merchants rather than a team that was going for 5 consecutive titles. And then a Champions League performance that's going to go down in the history books. 3-0 up at home against Feyenoord, only to draw 3-3. That's not a blip no more. That's a full-blown crisis. City are looking about as organised as their financial department is right now. And speaking of finances, we will gonna get to charges later. But now I want to dive into what went wrong on the pitch and Pep's post-match reaction to all of this. Is the pressure getting to him? When you look at that press conference, you see the way he comes out. Now, he's always been a bit of a bell, actually. You can call it passionate if you want. But he comes across as an absolute knob in his press conferences. And he gets protected by City's media team because they're so ruthless in sort of denying people access and demanding explanations about things that you've written, that he gets away with it. He turns up last night with literal cuts on his head. Literally looks like he's been in a boxing match. When asked about it, he says, I like to harm myself. Jokes aside, I've never seen a manager come in with visible stress like that. Even Arsene Wenger won his little battle with the coat. What? What the fuck happened in that changing room last night? Now, on one hand, can you blame him? The players are playing nowhere near the level that we are led to believe they are. And, you can talk about the Rodri reliance. Missing Rodri shouldn't lead to the utter collapse of what we've been told are world-class talents. You look at the FIFA World 11, it's absolutely littered with City players. You take Rodri out and the team collapses. How does that work?
Now, United lost a couple of key players and a couple of key points during the 90s and the early 2000s. We lost Rio in 2004. We lose the title. We lose Roy Keane in 1998. We lose the title. We lost Cantona in 1995. We lost the title. But we didn't go on runs like this. We just came second. I think Rodri's a phenomenal player. And he is the most Roy Keane-esque player of this current generation. But without him, how does a team that's been assembled by supposedly the greatest footballing mind that's ever existed, because that's what people say about Pep Guardiola, how's he not been able to adapt and lose so many games on the bounce? And that's basically a loss last night, isn't it? And they go to Anfield, I think it's Anfield, so either way, they play Liverpool at weekend, and they're going to get shagged. They are going to get absolutely shagged. And Liverpool aren't really playing well. Liverpool are in that weird, like, we're going to win the league vibe, where whatever, like, if you don't believe me, just go and look at the goal that Salah scored against Southampton. That is just, epitomises a team that's going to go win the league. You just know it. City right now are giving Everton vibes. Think about that for a second. One player comes out of a squad with the talent that squad has got after this geezer's been here for 9 years, and they crumble to this level. I've never seen the like of it. For this so-called genius, whose system is so flawless and transformative of football, is it so heavily reliant on a single individual? United got stick for so long for the excuse of the injuries that we had. United had more injuries than City have got charges last season. And that wasn't an excuse for us. And we still come away winning trophies. Yes, we came 8th, but we still come away winning trophies. Now, that Feyenoord game, City go 3-0 up. At that point, it's job done, right? No, because Feyenoord pull one back and City absolutely collapse. They get the equaliser in the 89th minute. The same Feyenoord that finished bottom of their Champions League group last season. This is not Bayern Munich. This is not Real Madrid. This is Feyenoord. City's defending was an absolute work of art. They was walking through like they were being escorted. At 3-0, City should have shut up shop. That's what a good team does. That's what good tactics are. They give out opportunities like Oprah. The charges, right? It's fun to speculate. Have City been given a little bit of a, listen, here's what's happening on the low, as someone worded them up? As someone said, those charges are going to stick, and here's what you're probably facing. And has that been enough to completely derail? The verdict is due in spring, 3-4 months away from now. The punishment could be anything from a fine to relegation. I think it's a distraction. Now, it's on the manager, I think, to circle the wagons, give it that me against the world sort of mentality. But do you know why he can't do that? Because they know they're fucking wrong. They know that without the financial doping that they've had from Sheikh Mansour, they're no better than fucking Wigan, with a fan base the same size. Is this dip in form linked to the uncertainty around that future? It's weird because Pep's supposedly just signed an extension. But how many more draws against Feyenoord or the embarrassing shaggings can he take before he jumps ship to another sketchy project? I had a look and see what some of the pundits were saying, because sometimes it's hard to find people that will go in on City. But I found a couple. Jamie O'Hara says, without Rodri, they look like a mid-table side. Jason Cundy says it's a crisis. 5 losses and a bottle job in the Champions League, not the City we know. Shearer was saying game management is shocking. 3-0 up and then losing focus like that's unacceptable. Totally agree. Is Pep's obsession with perfection creating a team that falls apart when things don't go their way? This has been the sort of criticism of Pep Guardiola. Can he get favourites over the line? Yes. Okay. Is there credit in that? Are you ever going to see him win a European trophy against the likes of Real Madrid like Sir Alex did with Aberdeen? Are you ever going to see him replicate the sort of thing that Jose Mourinho did with Porto? No, because he takes teams that are already winning and he continues to win with them. I think the mark of a true great coach is the ability to turn something around and turn it into something. When you look at the likes of Sir Alex, of Jose Mourinho, even of Ancelotti, or look at the job Ancelotti did at Everton, by the way. Could you see Pep doing that? Not a prayer. Brian Clough and all of these managers, they shit on Pep because of the things that they've been able to do against adversity. No one denies that Pep can get a team playing football. Absolutely none. But can he do it with if he'd have come into Manchester United in 2016, could he have had Chris Smalling playing out the back, looking like he's trying to dislocate his hip, making a 15-yard pass? Can he adapt? He's lost one fucking player. And it's funny to be like, oh, City are really bad without Rodri. Everyone knows City are bad without Rodri. So how has he not been able to do something about that? You know, and for Look at what he's been able to do with all of these fucking academy players who are great academy players. Why has he not just brought someone in to do the job Rodri can do if he's this fucking genius coach? And the timing of the extension was, I thought, a little bit weird. Why not wait a few months and see what happens with the charges? No relegation break clause either. Either Pep's incredibly loyal, or he's incredibly confident the charges won't stick, or he's so embedded with this organisation that he's not allowed to leave. Now, what does this mean for Manchester United? Probably fuck all, to be honest. We got our own shit to worry about. But don't tell me I'm not allowed to poke fun at City, because I fucking can, and I absolutely will. But what's next for them? Can they turn this around? Or are we watching the beginning and the end of the reign? And more importantly, can United capitalise and remind the world which club actually runs this fucking city? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Oh, and long may it continue. Like, I can even get over watching Liverpool win the league if it means that this lot absolutely shit the bed. Deny and deflect. See you in a bit.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.